Well, we've been having problems with some salt water getting on the wood. It comes from the anti-siphon device, which was at the top of the raw water for the generator. So the more we run the generator, the more water, salt water gets on the back side of some of the wood. This is the device that's simply old, and I think it's a little worn out. If you pressurize it, it does pressurize, and if you suck on it, it does open up, but there's a little bit of air that gets through. You can hear it. Psst. So this thing is not sealing, and so we have to take it apart and see why it's not sealing. Hopefully we don't have to replace it. Hopefully we can just clean it up and put it back together. So that's what we're often doing right now, is we're going to take this cap off and look inside at the seal. So with that, we're going to try and take it apart. We might have to take this to a vise. A vise is a very nice thing to have, and this is what's not sealing. The rubber seems fine, so we're just going to clean it up really well and put it back together. We're going to take a brass brush to part of this and a steel brush to other parts of it. Okay, so what we've done is we've cleaned up this little valve. You can see the rubber is still nice and soft, so there's no problems with this. It sits right down on top of that little post like that. Down in there, if you can see, there's a little ring, and that little ring rides on the rubber, and it was pitted. So when I tried to hold air on it, it would seep out from around the rubber ring because there were pits on the surface of this. So I'm gonna take a little piece of very, very fine, wet, dry sandpaper. I'm just polishing the surface of this to get some of the pits out so that it will seal better. Feels pretty smooth. So now I'm going to plug the ends, blow in the top, and see if any air comes out. Much better seal. The little pits on the surface of that is what was causing it to leak. Well, and a whole bunch of calcium buildup and, you know, corrosion and things.
We've been cleaning off the rest of this anyway.
Also, these barbs will fill up with corrosion, and you have to clean them out with a little screwdriver and a wire brush so that they seal. I was getting some leaking around where the rubber tubes grabbed to this as well.
But that'll be cleaned up soon enough.
A little more lapping to do. Okay, while I was cleaning this up, I thought that I would mention something. If you look at this pretty bronze color, it's kind of yellowish. And then you look at the threads here, you'll notice they're kind of pinkish. That pinkish color is where the other metals have leached out due to electrolysis, and the only thing left is the copper. This is what you don't want on a through hole. So if you scratch your through holes on the outside and you see this pink color show up, you know that the through holes are damaged and they might be brittle. This isn't a structural component, so I'm going to put it back on, but we need to be aware now that these threads are going to be much more brittle than the rest of the bronze.
You can see it pretty clearly too, right around here.
So for the past couple hours, we've been working with wire brushes and scrapers, and
we've put our blood and sweat into getting this right.
Yeah, don't get your finger caught in a wire brush. We're about done.
You can see pretty clearly areas where electrolysis has taken hold.
You can see the color difference.
You can see the color difference a lot more clearly now.
But we also found out it's fairly superficial. It hasn't gone deep yet. So with a wire brush, we were able to scrape through the layer of electrolysis, and it's very, very shallow at this point. But that's the color you look for, and this is what will destroy a through hole and make it brittle. So we're getting ready to do the last little bit of cleanup on this, and we're gonna put it back in.
And now it's time to install it again. With that reinstalled, appreciate it if y'all liked, subscribed, and checked out future videos. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and goodbye, y'all.